In a previous lesson, we learned about flats and sharps and how they affect a note by either the pitch of a note by either raising it or lowering it a half step. In this lesson, we're going to learn about key signatures. A key signature is when you have sharps or flats that are placed at the beginning of a piece of music, and they change those notes in the entire piece of music. Whenever sharps or flats are in a key signature, they always appear in the same order. So we can memorize the order of the flats by thinking of this saying, boys' ears are dirty, girls have clean fingernails. I really think of it as spelling the word bead, B-E-A-D, and then adding G-C-F at the end. So the first four flats, you're going to see a lot. Sometimes it's just one flat. If it's one flat, you know it's B. If it's two flats, B-E. If it's three, B-E-A, B-E-A-D. Sometimes you might have something that has 5, 6, or 7 flats, but probably not until you're a much more accomplished musician or very much later in your musical career. So bead, if you'll just remember that, then you'll know the order of the flats. So let's draw a flat sign that has 2 flats. So B and E will be my flat signs. Here's a B, here's an E. Now draw a key signature that has 4 flats. We know it has to be these 4 flats. B, E, A, D. Now most of the time all of the flats or sharps are within the staff. Okay, the only time that's not the case is in a treble clef. When we use the G sharp, we have to go above the staff. But for you, pretty simple, B, E, A, and D, just keep those within the staff and make sure that they're always in that order. You can memorize the order of the sharps by using fat cowboys give dirty advice, eat bugs. So always in that order, F, C, G, D, A, E, B. To me, this is easier to memorize a saying just because it's hard for me to remember F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Now you can remember that the sharps, the order of the sharps is the order of the flats, but backwards, if you want to think of it like that. But always in that order. So very rarely will you have more than 4 sharps. So fat cowboys give dirty advice, okay? So let's draw a key signature that has 3 sharps. So F, really nice sharp that intersects that line. C, okay, right in the space. G. So your sharp signs will always be in that order. Ooh, 5 sharps. So I'm drawing F, C, G, D, but I'm adding the A at the end. So here's the same thing as what I did in number 3. F, C, D, no, G, D. So here's my 4, and then I'm going to add my A. Oops. And then I'm going to add my A. I'm going to do that on the bottom versus the top. Okay, so this whole first page is first recognizing that music a lot of times will have a key signature, the sharps or flats or the accidentals that affect the notes all the way through the piece, and that they are always in a very specific order. So I can glance at a piece of music and go, oh, that has 3 flats. In my head, I know those are the B, E, and A, always. It's anytime you have 3 flats, it's those 3 flats. Anytime you have 3 sharps, F, C, and G, okay? You know that it's in that order. Let's move on to the second half. Basically, we're just going to apply a key signature and figure out which notes are affected. So if I have 2 flats in this key signature, I know it's B flat and E flat. So any B flat here or E flat are affected. So even though it's these two where it shows on the key signature, this is a B flat, A to B flat, so I know that that note is affected by the key signature. Here's an E, G, F, E, so I know that this is also going to be E flat. Okay, so any flat in a key signature affects those notes all the way through the piece. Number 5, let's write the name of this accidental right here. So this is a B flat, yeah. So only one flat in this key signature, so any B is going to be flat. So if I'm counting up, F, G, A, B, flat, so that B flat is affected by the key signature. Keep going, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Here's my B flat. That's affected by the key signature, C. So no other notes are affected by that key signature except for that one flat that's in it. Number 6, now I have 3 flats. Remember the order, I don't even have to like count up and figure out what notes they are because the order is always spells the word bead, B-E-A. If it's only 3, you stop there. All right, so now with this key signature, any B, any E, and any A are going to be flat. So I'm starting here on F, and I'm going up. F, G. This is an A, so we know by our key signature, A flat, right? So let me just circle that note. Here's a B. That's going to be flat. C, D is D flat. Nope, we only have 3. E, E flat, definitely going to be affected. F, G, A. Okay, A is flat. B is flat. C is not flat. So those are the notes that are affected by the key signature. So you can go through and write the note names all the way through and then figure out which ones are affected, or you could just kind of read it like that. Number 7, sharp signs. Remember the first 2, fat cowboys. Don't want to be fat shaming cowboys, but that just helps to remember the first 2 sharps. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to just start off by writing my musical alphabet because this is just a scale, right? I'm just going up the scale. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So now I know by my key signature, F and C, any F and any C are going to be affected by the key signature. All right? So that's a really easy way for you to figure out what a key signature does and how it affects the notes that's going to be in the composition. Okay? So any one of those notes that are affected by the key signature, we just circle. And you'll get the hang of this as you play more and more music. But it's very, very important concept to learn.